It's positive in the sense that you can now view the data, but it could also be negative in the sense of you can also now view the data.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas to Results. I'm joined by Adam of our paid team, and we're going to be exploring all the things that are happening in the world of paid, and it is a lot of AI activity. So greater placement transparency in Google Ads for PMax. So
Yes.
you just give an introduction what it is.
Across Google Ads, up until sort of performance match, you could break down where your ads were serving. So if it was a search ads and you opted in to the partner network, you'd be able to split the traffic to see which one's going through Google search itself and which one's going through sort of partners. You'd then be able to assess performance of those. Performance Max started out very much as a black box with no information. Thankfully, Google have now been adding in more information so you can dive a bit deeper into what's working, what's not working, and this is the latest iteration of that. You can now view specific placements such as YouTube videos, Google owned channels, and then whether it's serving on sort of search partners, display network, and so on. So it enables advertisers really get granular into that detail of where their ads are showing, whether it's sort of in an efficient channel such as Google search, or whether 90% of their traffic is coming from YouTube.
And those channels, say for example, it's featuring on YouTube, do you get sort of performance metrics related to that? So can you now use this kind of data to say, well, actually YouTube doesn't convert as well as search or whatever, and then block that? Or are we literally just got the ability to see the placement?
All we have currently is the ability to see the number of impressions.
Right, I wondered, yeah.
So they've not actually said, here's what's converting well, here's not what's converting, or what's converting.
So we've got the control to remove the placement, but in reality, we don't know what has contributed in the buyer journey to lead to that end sale.
Yes.
So it's quite risky to cut that.
Exactly. And when we say sort of removing the placement, so if you saw, oh, this YouTube video isn't doing very well, and you remove that video so you won't serve on that one, it will replace it with others. There's no way you can negate basically every single YouTube video in existence just with that one to stop it serving.
So this might be more like brand protection in terms of, so it's not necessarily a performance piece, but it's more association with messages or brands or stuff that you don't really want your content being aligned next to.
Yeah, that, and it really helps with sort of the budget setting side of things. It's always been that case of, well, it says we can push more into Performance Max, but I can see now that 90% of the impressions or more are coming from YouTube. That's not likely to deliver that incremental growth that we want to see, because it's likely to continue pushing with that budget there. So if we increase it, we're going to be serving on more ads.
So positive in some way, but not a game changer.
Yeah, it's positive in the sense that you can now view the data, but it could also be negative in the sense of you can also now view the data. If you're seeing the results, then you can trust it. It's learning, it's doing something, but I think it will be really helpful when you're not seeing results and identifying sort of the reasons behind that, because in some instances, PMax will entirely serve to YouTube. You'll now be able to see, is that happening?
Okay, so topic number 2, lookalike segments shift to AI signals in demand gen.
Lookalike audiences have largely been sort of, they first started off in Meta, and when Google launched demand gen, they added in that sort of audience targeting where basically you give it a list of your existing customers and it will identify ones who are similar to those. Now it's recently changed, so instead of serving just that target audience, it now uses it as a signal, so it will expand the targeting wider than that audience rather than being sort of specifically targeted. It's now observation based, such as sort of the search campaign default setting. What that means is the targeting change could massively impact campaign performance. So out of nowhere, if you suddenly see demand gen fall off a cliff, then it could be related
because it goes to slightly less, it goes to a broader and maybe less targeted audience.
Exactly, yeah. So previously you could set, say if you wanted a 1% variance from your audience list that you've provided, so it would be really, they would be very similar people. It's now, not going to have that ability, and it's probably more likely that it'll be sort of down closer to 50% despite what you've said.
Anything we can do to kind of control this, or is this automatically going to switch over? How's that roll out?
Yeah, so advertisers do have the ability to submit a form basically saying, I want to keep my lookalike audiences as a lookalike and stop then changing to sort of signals, which would be the way to sort of control that. However, it's hard to know because obviously the way AI is learning and sort of the campaigns are learning, you would like to think that they've got enough information that they would help to improve performance, but it's definitely something to monitor. I don't think there is a time limit as to when you can submit that form, so it'll be one to monitor over the coming weeks. We've just got to sort of trust the machines to a certain extent.
And watch it, and if it doesn't work, roll it back.
Exactly. It's one of those, we've got to gradually put more faith in machines. They are getting better at learning more. And it's in their best interest to get the best performance because advertisers will spend more.
Okay, so moving into Meta. So Meta has integrated, they've bought Manus.
Yes.
And they've integrated Manus AI into the ads manager. Quite an interesting conversation, this one, generally, in terms of actually them acquiring another AI company. Why have they kind of done this rather than using their own?
So they was working on their own model called Llama, I believe. It had been widely reported that that was lagging severely behind sort of their competitors. So Manus is the leading edge, slightly behind sort of Google and OpenAI. It's really enabled them to pick their speed up, give really good outputs.
What does it actually now do within the ads manager?
Its main function is similar to sort of in Google Ads, you've got the AI agents which can sort of help guide you with performance, with suggestions. It's doing similar.
Just in platform?
In the Meta Ads platform itself. There will be suggestions if you hover over items. If you see sort of, this campaign's underperforming, you'll be able to query Manus AI. We're not sure what signals or what data that is going to use to put the output, because it could be very similar to sort of the Meta reps. Some of the information obviously will be good, other of it not so much probably, because obviously the recommendations in Meta largely are turn more things on, which can impact brand safety as well, especially some of the sort of the AI sort of creative functions as well.
It's interesting to see the platforms, like we're seeing more and more, because I think Manus is now integrated with the
Similar web.
And obviously we're seeing now sort of like platforms merging to then like stop you having to go between different things. It will just in platform do these sorts of things.
So it seems that Manus is trying to sort of create a more of a native environment for users to be able to connect tools in. So they also added the Meta API within to Manus directly, so you can sign in with your sort of your Facebook profile, and then it can generate live interactive reports as well as provide suggestions. So that could be a really good one rather than sort of having to manually download the data from Meta. So definitely one to monitor as well, because if they continue to integrate it, there is the opportunity that advertisers could launch ads using Manus. Meta has long talked about just give us the sort of the budget, the landing page, and we'll handle the rest. That is their goal for advertising, is to make it as streamlined as possible. So it really aligns with that as well.
Not much going on in the world of paid in the last month, but there we are. Those are the key things, and I think it sort of plays into 2026 of this whole connectivity, where we saw last year lots of like independent GPTs and AI over here, but now I think 2026 is going to be a year of connection, of bringing these data sets together. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do check out our website, our socials for more content like this, and we'll see you next time.